Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you guys have a really blessed Friday. Mine, it's kind of winding down here over on the West Coast, you know what I mean? It's getting after that, Isha already happened, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just winding down my day. I got a 3-day weekend, and then I'm gonna have some medical stuff going on, and actually I'm gonna probably be just streaming my butt off this entire time because basically I'm gonna be recovering at my place for 2 weeks, so I'll have plenty of time to actually stream. Uh, Granted, I'm going to be heavily medicated, so you guys are going to have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But it is, halal because it's for the doctor ordered. Okay, it's prescribed. I'm not out here doing drugs or anything like that. Like, just for the sake of it. I just so when I come out a little loopy and stuff like that, hey, it's the medication. But anyway, alhamdulillah. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I get, it's really late in the day. And I know a lot of the people I watch this are like, different time zones, especially, my brothers and sisters overseas, shout out, especially to people in the UK. I got mad love for my UK brethren, you know what I'm saying? The cousins across the pond, as they say. But anyway, as the title said, it's a no-brainer, right? Bhad Babbie, she recently just turned 18, right? And within 6 hours, she made $1 million on OnlyFans, right? And I definitely saw this happening for a long time. I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, if you see the trends of popular music, especially with female artists, it's like there's literally just there's a lot of people, both male and female, that are looking forward to this said artist to turn 18 so that they can see the scandalous stuff. You know what I'm saying? And have a chance with them, or if they do think that they have a chance with them. But I mean, we know how the entertainment industry just passes around people at a young age and exposes them to lifestyles like drugs, alcohol, things like that, and that people already have a knack for that, but society won't say anything. Like, society wants to be an open and free society where people can sleep who they want to, they can party and do this and do that, but at the same time, they think they're going to stop kids that are underage from getting exposed to that. And then, everything's supposed to be fine and dandy. If you have our society is hypersexual, right? And if you look at how Bhad Babbie was dressing prior to that and the circle she was hanging around, I mean, are you really surprised that she turned out the way that she did? And see, I think it's ironic, especially about feminists, right? They think that that's okay behavior. They think it's okay for somebody that's legally a child to be hanging around with grown adults, partying, drinking, doing God knows what, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these same girls that complain about stuff like this, they're the main ones back then that were doing all that, and then had boyfriends that were way older. They had sexual experiences with people that were way older. I think it's like a hypocritical thing, right? Because they want to blame the guys. But honestly, a lot of, I can say this honestly, especially if you look at some of the stuff that's going on with a 13 to 15-year-old, the carjacking and stuff like that. A lot of these so-called kids aren't children anymore. Kids are being basically grown up real fast, you know what I'm saying? And I would say like 16 to me, a 16-year-old, I'm going to be completely honest, has the mental capacity to understand right from wrong what they're doing. And a lot of these people, basically, there's no accountability, right? On the opposite side. It's like, there's people like 16 wilding out, doing all the stupid stuff. And when they get in trouble, it's like, oh, I'm a kid and I'm misdirected. Well, I can tell you from my personal experience, when I was 16, dude, I knew everything that I was doing that was wrong. When I stole, when I skipped school and got into fights and all this stuff, I knew what I was doing was wrong. Yeah, I think if I would have used that would have been a complete cop-out. I never used that. I've always taken accountability for my actions, and that's a bitter pill to swallow. Our society loves the victim narrative, right? Like, no matter what, it's somebody else's fault besides you. Especially like teenage girls, man, they eat it up. It's, they grew up in the patriarchy, and, they didn't have a father in the home. So that's why they're wilding out, hooking up and dating with a guy that's way older, you know what I'm saying? Skipping school, wilding out, things like that. They get a pass from society, right? I mean, granted, a freaking 16-year-old boy, though, freaking, you get tossed in, into the system ASAP, you know what I mean? And it kind of sucks. But anyway, going back to, more on topic. Hey, Sick Diggy, what's up, man? What's good? Glad to see you here, brother or sister. I'm sorry, I don't know if what your gender is. You know what I'm saying? I could put a link in the chat. You know, I'm actually in the mood to kind of talk. You know what I mean? So if you want to talk, man, like let's chop it up. I can do a quick combo real quick. I got a burrito. Really want to eat. I ain't gonna front, man. I'm super hungry. I've been eating since lunch. But yo, man, like it's Friday. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. So basically, the topic so far is basically talking about the Bhad Babbie, you know, and the OnlyFans thing. And it's like, you know, within 6 hours, she made $1 million. And really, to me, it shows the decay and decline of Western civilization, because we're seeing the mass media pop culture on its face. It's like $1 million to see somebody either have sex or see somebody naked. All that money could have gone to charity. All that money could have gone to things like, especially with this pandemic, yeah, people will just throw money away for something so stupid, right? And meanwhile, there's kids that are innovators, kids that are doing good things, kids that are actually going to change the world in a positive light, that it won't even get any of that funding whatsoever. They get thrown under the rug, you know what I mean? And it's disgusting, man. I mean, you know, I think this society is digging its own grave, man. Because I mean, how can you go over and expect productive citizens to want to do the right thing? Like, who wants to be a doctor or a lawyer or a firefighter, policeman, you know, military, whatever you like to call it, right? Some kind of public civil duty, teacher, professor, whatever, counselor. Who wants to do that and make a meager paycheck when all I have to do is just have sex with people or show my body to people, and then I can get that kind of money? And she basically also made the money on top of another thing. Basically, she went viral for disrespecting her parents and acting like a complete idiot. And wallahi, bro, like, who's raising this girl? Like, you know, you never see her mom. You know, that's a terrible person, in my opinion, man. You let your kid go viral for disrespecting you. You let her hang out with rappers. You know what I'm saying? You let her hang out with rappers, drug dealers, and then she went to rehab. So she, you know, last year, so she was addicted to drugs, obviously, right? And it's like, you don't care because I guess, you know, she's probably making a good paycheck. She's probably taking off some of that money. A lot of these children, actors and child musicians and entertainers, a lot of their parents pocket a lot of that money, and they don't care about it, man. Their kids just a bank, you know what I'm saying, or just a steady income for them. I mean, we live in a world where people abort their children. So, I mean, you know, if people can do that and have the gall to literally kill their baby, you know what I mean? They definitely probably have it in them to use them and exploit them. You know what I mean? That's why we have CPS. We have CPS for a reason, right? You know, not everybody that should produce, unfortunately. Lie, bro. And, you know, it sucks because there's going to be a whole other generation of young girls in particular that are going to see that and then be like, why do I want to do anything productive in life? Why go to college? Why get married or, you know, do the traditional thing or something like that when I can just create an OnlyFans and make mad bank off of being viral? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? I mean, there's not even like the OnlyFans thing is just like, it's something else on its end. Like, there's pastors, female pastors, basically starting OnlyFans pages. You know, everyday soccer moms starting OnlyFans pages, and that their whole community knows about it. You know, their kids' friends know that there are OnlyFans. I mean, I was watching this documentary. It's called After Porn Ends on Netflix. They don't have it there anymore. But there was like a couple porn stars are like, oh, you know, like, yeah, my kids, you know, friends know what I do and all kinds of stuff. I was like, how disgusting is that? How hard is that for your kid? Like, especially like knowing that your mom does this, says that. And on top of that, your mom, everybody wants to be your friend to get close to you so they can probably hook up with your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of culture we live in, bro. It's disgusting, bro. So wallahi, man. Yeah, but sick Diggy, you're exactly right, man. One should ask who is enabling such a function and why. I wholeheartedly agree. And yeah, it's the leadership, man. This the Western society says that the almighty dollar is the best thing, and you want to be sexually liberated, no slut shaming, this, that, and the third. So you combine that with the incentive to get fame and notoriety. I mean, it's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. I mean, you have a hard time trying to convince a kid not to do that. I mean, I even had a conversation one time with this girl. She thought I was slut shaming a girl, and I wasn't even talking about a girl. I don't know. I guess I was talking about some female celebrity. I really trying to talk about female celebrities, but anyway, yeah, she was like, yeah, you're slut shaming. I was like, no, not whatsoever. And then I was just like, hey, granted, like, what reason would you have not to do that, right? And she's like, oh, morals. I'm like, well, you just said slut shaming is a bad thing. So if slut shaming is immoral in your eyes, I mean, why is it immoral for her to do that? Like, why is it taking, like, you have low morals that you would do that? I mean, obviously, you're arguing that somebody that does those activities is a morally a good person. And it's just crazy, man. It's what's also funny is like the same feminist, right? Like the thing about feminists that really gets me is like the same feminists. I mean, years ago, feminists actually hated the porn industry. Now, like the porn industry and feminism are like hand in hand. Like you have literally all these porn stars with, feminist like diatribes on their social media and all this kinds of stuff. And then there's simps out there. And honestly, simps are the worst. Simps are like the main problem in our society. And these guys, put them on a pedestal and stuff like that. And then buy their filth and things of that nature. And it's just freaking crazy, bro. It's freaking crazy. And they call themselves feminists. Oh, I'm liberated, to get banged out by 12 dudes all at once, and this, that, and the third. That's liberation. You know what I'm saying? Like, freaking crazy, bro. Freaking crazy. It's ridiculous. I mean, to think that, like, there's generations of women that fought so hard to just have women have their foot in the door to, progress and do all the things that, they were not allowed to do. I mean, because they act like women weren't allowed to be prostitutes and stuff like that. Prostitution is the oldest profession. Being able to perform sexually for money is not really that much of an achievement. I'm sorry. It's a natural thing, bro. You know what I mean? We got Dirty the Wolf, my man. Let me add him. What is up, man? How's it going? Oh, hey, dude, I'm trying to unmute your mic, but it's not letting me, so I can't hear you.
Hey, what's good?
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I get why. Okay, I think I have my headphones on, and it's not letting me do it. Okay, let me turn my headphones off. Okay, hold up. 1 moment. Figure it out. Yeah, I got my headphones on, so I can't hear you. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Cool. Yeah. I can hear you. Yeah, it's just sometimes my Bluetooth is weird because I was listening to music on my phone, and then I was in my car earlier, so my Bluetooth connection was connected to my car, and then when I connect to my laptop automatically, sometimes it's really weird. So,
well, first of all, that was me in the chat, and I see that I'm all by myself. Oh, how depressing.
Yeah, I mean, it's late, dude, and it's Friday, dude. I mean, there's especially with YouTube, man. I mean, there's all kinds of people streaming simultaneously. I mean, BGS, for instance, BGS is I'm actually might swoop in and check some of that out. He's on the Art Nostival TV, you know what I'm saying, channel. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this, man?
With the baby thing, Bhad Babbie thing? I'm like, first of all, I'm just hearing that from you, and I'm like, why is everybody so hung up on reality and dysfunction like that? I mean, it is what it is. Just leave it be. We got more important things to focus on, like our own lives. This is why I don't even bother with reality TV or the news that much, unless it's absolutely necessary to watch the news for information.
Yeah. My main point. Oh yeah, my main point was just like, it's entertaining and people are going to do it anyway. My main thing is that she made that amount of money in such a short time, and then I go on social media, right, and Twitter, and there's a bunch of women being like, "Oh, that's so creepy," and this, that, and the third. It's like, you guys are the same people that when you were her age, you guys were doing the same thing, and you guys were rebelling against your parents, and you guys created the same feminist, sexually liberated, quote unquote, culture, and you want people to have the right to do that. And I mean, this is a result of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think this really, a lot of it's jealousy. I think a lot of it's just jealousy. Like they wish they could do the same thing.
Have you not understood what BGS was talking about this whole time? We talked about feminism. He said basically feminism is allowing women to engage in all kinds of behavior without having to be held without having to deal with the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about plausible deniability at the end of the day. So, but this is nothing new to me. This is nothing new to anybody. I mean, I came from a traditional. I come from a traditional society where we're all held accountable. If not, our parents are held accountable until we're raised. Because there's like you get a mark of shame and whatnot. Although
there's no shame anymore.
Although shame is not the word. Shaming language, all that's not the word. You have to have accountability and punishment in some cases. Oh, and by the way, I have seen all 3 installments of After Porn Ends, and you have mixed feelings about it. Everybody has their own views about it. I'm like, it is what it is.
Yeah, my biggest thing with the porn industry is them trying to get it mainstream to the point where like especially a lot of these stars, they're really disingenuous. Like the industry is really disingenuous. Like it's kind of like any other industry, right? They have to. They say, "Oh, it was meant for 18." It's made to. They say, "Oh, it's only for 18 and up people," but literally, a lot of these girls, they get involved in the industry. They're like, "Oh, when I was 16, I wanted to be a porn star." Like, what's it called? One that I used to really like a lot was Angela White. She was like, "Oh yeah, when I was like 15, 16, I wanted to be a porn star." I'm like, bro, like that's your highest ambition in life. Like that's freaking crazy, bro. Like,
you gotta understand. Some people are drawn to certain ways of life. It's beyond our comprehension.
Facts.
You can't be judgmental about it.
Dude, everybody's judgmental about something, right? So like, I push back against the. Yeah, I disagree with like the old judgmental.
I had to give that up a long time ago because I saw how much that because you get called out for hypocrisy and shit like that. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just let them do them. I'm gonna do me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying like I'm worried about being a hypocrite. I mean, to be honest, everybody at a certain period of time contradicts themselves. I mean, the best people that honestly gave me the best advice were hypocrites. Like people that were like, "Oh, hey, don't doing that and doing this is bad." And they used to do it a lot. But it's like, ex drug addicts, for instance, right? They're the best people to listen to get you to stay away from drugs.
The mark is shame about it. Unless they looked at you like, listen, son, I've been through that. I'll tell you what happened. I've been through that shit. And this is what happened. So don't go into it. Unless you're willing to use your life as a cautionary tale for others, don't even think about it. I mean, I've told people a couple of stories in my life, which were served as a purpose and used as a cautionary tale. Nothing serious, but it was just like, just to let them know, oh, okay. If I was, you avoid that's since in the stories I told, I was able to avoid certain situations, and they realized, oh, I see what you mean. I see your point.
Yeah, bro.
I did the right thing in that this one particular scenario, but they realized, oh, I get the point. What he's talking about.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. It's just so what I was just going to elaborate on was the freaking industry being mainstream, and basically they want it to the point where it's on the same level as being any regular acting. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, like those same girls that do that are involved in that industry, they still want to get married and find a husband. You know what I'm saying? They still think they're obligated to have a decent, stable, like traditional relationship with a boyfriend and stuff. It's like, dude, Like, what guy in his right mind would want to just date a girl like that? Like, you got to have either an amazing personality or the sex has to be that good. But a guy can find a good girl to have sex with that doesn't have sex with like multiple people on a constant basis, you know?
Some of them actually do have been married, and usually they're individuals who were in the entertainment industry, someone within the industry, so they understood what the deal was. Didn't have a
Yeah, but a lot of them have. I mean, dude, almost none of them have lifelong marriages. Like almost none of them.
Some have found stable relationships. They were very rare, but others.
Yeah, they're very, very, very rare. Like,
have you watched the After Point? Which one have you seen?
Yeah, I've seen all 3 of them.
I've seen all 3 myself. I was listening to the stories like some of the guys like Johnny Keys.
Yeah.
His was interesting. Darren James' story was also very interesting. Do you remember Darren James?
Yeah, what's crazy is
No, do you remember Darren James?
What's it called? Hold up, one more. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, I think turn on my speakers. It's being weird. Oh, what I was gonna say is freaking a lot of the people that even when they date people in the industry, like those petty little things like jealousy, they still happen, you know, and that's why in particular
jealousy?
There's a lot of taboo stuff, like there's a lot of stuff being called out, like the racism in the industry. Like there's straight up girls that get out of the industry and they say like their boyfriends were like, hey, don't sleep with a black guy. Like if you sleep with a black guy, like we're done. You know, like you can do gang bang 100 dudes, but if you sleep with one black guy, like we're done, you know?
Did it ever occur to you that some of these people might have some kind of racial bias?
I'm sorry?
Did it ever occur to you that sometimes these guys might have some kind of racial bias? I mean, it has a lot to do with ego and their insecurities. And they say, hey, you dealing with a black guy? It's over. Well, some people draw the line there. Some guys are cool with if they're involved with somebody who's in the industry. They're like, yeah, it's cool if you're dealing with like I'll give you an example. Russell Peters. You know the comedian Russell Peters?
Yeah.
He had this joke about, I think it was the Sonny Leone he claimed he was involved with at one time. And he referenced her, he didn't reference her by name, but he referenced her in a joke that how in that relationship, it was all right because she was just doing girl on girl scenes. But once the girl on boy scenes started, you realize, it's not gonna work because even if there's times when I want to bang her, but I can't because she's been banged all day at work. So she had a long day at work, so it wasn't.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about, bro. I mean, like,
not to mention
that's so crazy to think about.
Not to mention the porn industry, what it does to the minds of young men. I don't mean watching it, and I do watch, like all men. But like a lot of men have felt a little when some guys watch this stuff, they get a sense of inadequacy because remember, most of the dudes have supposedly huge, like well endowed and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, how you holding up? By the way, I forgot to ask you first and foremost before I continue.
Oh, just hold up, just mental wise, or just
mental wise mostly, but everything.
Oh, dude, I'm having a freaking great day, bro. Yeah, like I had a great day, bro. Yeah, I have nothing to complain about, bro. As soon as this is over, I got a burrito. I'm about to put some Netflix on. It's going down.
Did I interrupt you eating or something like that? Are you that hungry?
Yeah, dude. I freaking haven't eaten since lunch.
Oh, damn. Sorry about that.
No, dude. I mean, it's by choice, man. It's not like I didn't have any, outlets to go eat and I didn't have any money, bro. I mean, like, shoot,
either that or you're warming up for Ramadan, which is like in 10 days.
Yeah, so this Ramadan is going to be pretty interesting because technically,
this is the second Ramadan during COVID.
Yeah. The first one kind of sucked, dude. So I mean, the second one, a lot of places are open back up, but the thing is, for this first half of Ramadan, I'm not obligated to actually fast because I'm going through that surgery and I'm going to be recovering for it. So I'm going to be on medication and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to need to eat, and hydrate.
Fair enough. You're going to go to surgery. I know people with diabetes are exempted from this. People with certain medical conditions are exempted. Elderly exempted.
Yeah, if you're on your period, yeah.
Yeah, you got to make up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Elderly, they compensate. They try to make up for it by just feeding the poor, which is a normal thing to do. I mean, they can't do it like they used to. Your body's
Uh-huh.
not what it's used to be, you know. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
feel you. I feel you.
what was I saying like that? It's like sometimes it's like because the men are supposedly well endowed in those films. A lot of young guys who watch it, they start feeling inadequate. It affects with their self-esteem of sorts.
Yeah, yeah. I feel
And
yeah.
women
And
do
also
mock them
performance
about their
wise
big
too.
size, and women do mock them about their endowments because they're just trying to attack the ego.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
So
feel you. And to be honest, I'm really self-conscious. Like when I see that sometimes, like I feel bad for like honestly white guys, man. Like imagine if you're a short white guy. On top of that, you're short and you're not good looking, and yeah, you're short and you're not good looking, and your ex right dated a black dude, and you knew the guy, and you knew he was tearing her up. Like obviously, during their relationship,
I'm not gonna
she
kiss
was
and
pretty happy.
tell. I'm not gonna really kiss and tell, but that I can say that has happened.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I got straight
I
up. Like,
don't.
I've had conversations with guys like they don't even want to know if they did it, like any of their dating history. If like because it's and I was talking to
Oh
this
no,
one
I
dude,
didn't have
especially.
to. I didn't have to tell anything. I mean, apparently, because I met the actor, I met her new. I met the actor, and I met the new man that were involved in. Well, like, hello, how you doing? How you doing? That's nice to meet you. Nice
Yeah.
to meet you. So I was disarming, but it was like nothing bad happened. It is what it is.
Yeah. What's so messed up about girls these days, bro, is they're so disingenuous because they'll have an Instagram account and social media
When were they ever
and
generous?
and they'll never put their boyfriend on there, and then they know that they'll take really hot photos of themselves that they know are them looking provocative that garner that kind of attention. And or another thing too is like guys that they used to sleep with or guys that they used to date, they'll still talk with them and be friends with them. To me, that's a very disingenuous thing. That's a no-go for me.
I
You know what I'm
remember
saying?
Joe
That's
Rogan
trash.
talked about that.
What?
I remember Joe Rogan, one of his first albums, I'm Gonna Be Dead Someday. He talked about that, how like sometimes a girl will call her ex-boyfriend, and the ex-boyfriend is kind of like a wolf sniffing around, you know.
Yeah, bro. It's like
And like she like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Oh well, my new boyfriend is. Oh, my new boyfriend is like this and that and the third, you know. Oh really? Talk to me. When he's
Yeah,
actually
dude,
trying to find a
if
way to
any of
just
my ex
shoehorn in.
girlfriends calls me, it's because she wants to D. Point blank, period. Especially if she hated my ass.
I haven't had that problem actually.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, dude, I've been halal for for a little bit. I haven't committed zina in quite a bit, but every single time,
That's not what I
that
meant.
yeah,
In
yeah.
my case, because I kind of pissed a few people off, so and the stigma of my issue. So I haven't spoken live in a long time, so I'm kind of glad.
Oh, dude, honestly, being woman free, it's given me so much clarity because, dude, there's so much stuff in my life I think I could have done besides chasing skirts. Like, when you have that phase where you're just chasing skirts, you put so much stuff to the wayside. It's ridiculous.
Because because in your early 20s, it's all about reproduction. You can't control that unless you've been taught from a young age how to learn how to control that or how to harness, how to keep it under wraps. But even then, it's hard. Me, what kept me in check was like STDs. I'm STD free for the most part, so I've never had to worry about that stuff. I just have to. I
I
just
feel
have
you,
to
man.
because it's like I made it a point to get tested at all times. Get tested and be responsible. I mean, because I live up here and I was kind of shocked that they don't use protection that much. But like they're saying, like there's no AIDS in Norway. I'm like, what the hell are you saying?
Dude, I actually heard Sweden's one of the most strictest countries when it comes to like sex laws and consent laws and stuff. But Sweden actually has like the highest herpes rate of anywhere in the world because a lot of people they just have sex without protection.
I'm glad. Of course, it's a bit of your time trying to get your doctor to test you for that shit. Because these are the doctors rush and I was like, well, it's very common. I'm like, really? I got enough problems in my life as it is. I'm not trying to get that shit.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. What sucks about is the deadly ones. the deadly STDs you can get penicillin for, but you can't get herpes. Like herpes is for life. That's freaking crazy. Like we still
Herpes,
all the science in the world, we still can't cure it.
herpes, HPV, those are the ones that you keep that like luggage. Also, HPV is like skin on skin. You know what HPV is, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I not to be too just out there, but I think I have HPV, to be honest.
Have you been tested?
Yeah, but they said so-called, like my doctor really said there's no quote HPV test. Like he said basically like it's kind of up in the air, honestly. He says like most guys have it. He's just like, hey, you probably do have it. So think about that.
That was a bullshit. I got tested and I'm clear for all of that. The only thing I do have is something called Bar Epstein. Or Epstein Barr. Well, supposedly they claim that I also have mono, but I'm not sure because sometimes you get a false positive or false negative when you get tested for that.
Oh, I had a friend that got mono from freaking he was at a burger place and he freaking got it from like his cup on the fountain. Like, you know how you put your cup to the fountain to refill it? You got mono from that shit.
Yeah, thank God I got OCD.
Yeah.
Well, I always had OCD. It was just it's an overdrive when I came here. Okay.
Word. Hey, so I hate to cut this short, man. I wish we could elaborate a lot more, but dude, talking about food and STDs got me.
You gotta eat. You gotta eat. I understand. We gotta get this.
Dude,
hey,
yeah.
I'll just swing by just to check on you.
Yeah, thank you so much for swinging by, bro. I really appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna do for the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna do like a crap ton of streams because I'm gonna be just basically at home. And I'll definitely do a stream earlier tomorrow. During the day, like around noon. So yeah, I'll start doing a lot more and doing more like regular streams and stuff like that. So thank you very much for your support, man.
Yeah, no problem. I think I'll put in a like. Just put in a like in the YouTube channel. YouTube, just out of respect. And thanks for having me over. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime, man. Yeah, if you know anybody that's interested, send them our way, dude. We'll chop it up, bro. Have a good time.
All right. Allahumma. Alhamdulillah.
Walaikum salam. Take care.